The Kings begin to refill their prospect pool while keeping a key defenseman. The Dodgers' top minor league pitcher is injured, and USC basketball has a surprise candidate to break out this fall. Good morning. I'm James, and this is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos Morning Report. It is June 27, 2026. Welcome back to the home office. Do you like being in the know about LA sports? Well, if you do, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop an update. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. We are within grasp of 1,000 subscribers. And by all means, comment. So before we go through the news and notes, we have a quick look at the scoreboard. Slime Diego 7, Dodgers 1. Mookie Betts homers, and that was it for the good news. But the LA Times, in its infinite wisdom, rhetorically asked, how did the Dodgers and Padres compare this season? Gee, I don't know. The two-time defending champs compared to a team 8 games out of first place boggles the mind. Somebody call Agatha Christie. We have a mystery on our hands. Meanwhile, today the Dodgers remain at Slime Diego at 5:30. Yoshinobu Yamamoto versus Randy Vasquez. The Sparks are at Indiana at 5. No Caitlin Clarke for Indiana. You might be thinking, well, duh, she got punched in the throat. But you would be wrong. It's back pain. And with that out of the way, let's get to the news because we've got a ton of Kings hockey to discuss. The Kings started by extending arguably the only defenseman who is willing and able to supercharge new coach Peter Laviolette's system. Brandt Clarke, staying in LA. He would have been a restricted free agent. Instead, he signs for 5 years, $37 million. Now, to be honest, we have yet to see anything that suggests Clarke should be on the top defensive pairing. But Laviolette needs defensemen who can join the attack. Drew Doughty? Well, the mind is willing, but the body is 36. Meanwhile, the third pairing is Grandpa Simpson and Matlock. So not a lot of help in the speed department there. Paying the youngin is probably the way to go. The 23-year-old was set to become a restricted free agent next week. He was 4th on the Kings in points with 40, which is a complete indictment of the offensive talent level. The Kings are estimated to have anywhere from 11 to 13 million left in cap space. They have yet to make decisions on unrestricted free agents Andrei Kuzmenko and Scott Laughton. Speaking of extensions, GM Ken Holland said Doughty's not getting one now, which means he'll become a free agent because this is the last year of his contract. Doughty's a lock for the Hall of Fame. He has spent 18 years with the Kings since getting selected 2nd overall back in 2008. Dude's a legend for the franchise. He's absolutely going to get the latest of the 5,000 statues that surround Crypto.com arena, but we have to be real. His play and durability has declined. Now, Holland did not say he would trade Doughty, by the way. And all of this Kings news predicates the draft, which opened yesterday. The Kings were predictable, which honestly, fine. We mentioned they have goalie prospects, maybe a couple of defensemen to look at for the future, but 0 legit offensive candidates. None of their forwards on the Ontario Reign or elsewhere project to be long-term NHL players, and any one of them that makes it has been slotted for the bottom 6. At pick 19, the Kings took winger Elton Hermanson. Now, the reviews I've read on the guy, and there were a lot of reviews, and let's be real, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on international hockey. But the reviews urge patience. Not because he has to grow into his body or learn to do something. His skill set has been called elite in multiple phases of the game. His skating alone makes him completely unlike anybody Rob Blake ever drafted. But one scouting report, for example, claimed he plays selfishly at times. What I seem to be getting in reading all of these reviews about him is that the Kings are going to be tempted to rush him because the team needs offense that badly. Patience to learn how to be professional means this guy has potential to be a top 6 forward. Now, the NHL draft will continue today. By the way, the Kings originally had pick 17. They dropped back a couple of spots to add an additional third-round selection. If you watch today's draft, and if you do, may I suggest you strongly consider touching grass? The Kings are going to have 8 selections today, starting with the 46th overall pick. So, if you're a Kings fan, lots to discuss. Let me know what you think in the comments thread. And now it is time for your daily injured Dodger pitcher update. Now, we had been urging restraint on the hype for uber prospect River Ryan for a good reason. He has never pitched more than 140 innings in a season. He's already underwent Tommy John surgery. Durability is a legit question, and it still is. Ryan's on the injured list with a hamstring injury, guys. Now, the Dodgers are typically underplaying the extent of the injury. They're saying he's still going to be throwing, just not off of a mound. And by the way, that may have been why he got rocked in his last minor league start. It's the second time this year he's dealt with a stanky leg. So, we'll see how long that turns out. As for Dodger pitchers who are injured and trying to get back to the majors, Blake Snell did not join the team in Slime Diego. Instead, he threw his first bullpen session, his recovery from an elbow procedure. 15 pitches, all fastballs. The idea, though, is that he still will not return to the majors until after the All-Star break. And I read this yesterday, and I gotta bring it up to you guys about it, especially longtime Dodger fans. I'm a little longer than this, but we all remember Eric Gagne. We all love Eric Gagne. The consecutive games saved record, the guy who has that, different breed of cat. He told a mental performance coach about what it takes to be an elite closer. Quote, "I love to suffer." What? I mean, it makes you wonder why he came out of the bullpen to Welcome to the Jungle instead of, I don't know, Death Cab for Cutie or My Chemical Romance. But when asked to explain his affinity for self-loathing, the Buddha of the bullpen said, quote, "Feeling the stress, feeling the passion, feeling the fans. It was a privilege. You've put yourself in a situation where you can feel alive. Not a lot of people get that type of adrenaline, that type of fear, that type of pressure. And how I handled it was to take it all in. Don't be afraid of feeling feelings. Don't be afraid to be afraid," unquote. Yes, Johnny Cash comes to mind. "I hurt myself today to see if I still feel." Whatever's your kink, my dude. If this is like your attempt at helping us all reach enlightenment, go ahead and answer the unanswerable. If that's your next step, tell us what is the sound of one hand clapping or something like that. Eric Gagne. Dirty cap, many saves, unofficial Zen Buddhist. Go figure. USC basketball assistant coach Mike Musselman. Yeah, he's the son of the head coach. He was asked for a breakout candidate. After all, the Trojans roster sure as hell appears to be stacked. They have multiple McDonald's All-Americans from the high school recruiting, a potential lottery pick in Elijah Arenas, and a dude who returned after going to the NBA draft combine. Musselman, however, mentioned none of those guys. Quote, Eric Ryba is probably poised for a breakout year when you look at the stat projections and when he has a bit more freedom to shoot threes more often. When he adds that piece to his game, which we've seen in practice, he's poised for a huge year, unquote. Ryba is a center, by the way, who transferred from UConn, which means he has seen college basketball at the highest level. The Huskies went to the title game before getting eliminated by Michigan. But I got to tell you, it's kind of interesting that USC thinks their breakout candidate is a 7-footer who's going to jack up a ton of threes. Who am I? As long as they finally decide to get to the NCAA tournament, who am I? The Clippers were supposed to make a decision on Bogdan Bogdanovic's $16 million contract option on Friday. That has been pushed back until Monday, according to Mark Stein's underling, his water carrier, Jeff Fisher, because the Clippers think they can find a trade partner. I normally don't buy anything that Mark Stein or the underling reports, but I will say this much. If Bogdanovich was supposed to have his option picked up by Friday, he'd be on the free market by now. He's not. So I'll accept this one. The bottom line is this. If LA doesn't find a way to trade him, if they do cut him, the dude doesn't get that 16 mil. So it makes total sense for him to say, you know what? I want the check. See if you can find a trade partner instead of cutting me. Angel City FC have extended forward Ali Sentnor, who they recently acquired from Kansas City, through 2029. And until they start winning, I pretty much don't care. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me about what you saw with the Kings yesterday and if that gives you any reason for optimism. For that matter, speaking of optimism, River Ryan, do you ever expect to see that guy in the majors again? And if you enjoyed this update, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day. Thank you for watching. I'm James, and we'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.